Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to have a look at a game called 13 Minutes at the Speed of Light. Today we're going to take a look at 13 Minutes at the Speed of Light. This game is available on the Game Crafter right now. It plays in 30 to 60 minutes, 1 to 5 players, and this game was created by Ryan Swindoll and Bethany Vaughan. It's $39.99, $40 on the Game Crafter. It's got Redstone seller status, and there's a lot of game in this little box. It's basically an asymmetric game. That it's a worker placement, and one person plays space itself, and the other players in the game play the astronauts trying to survive 13 minutes at the speed of light, where space is trying to damage their ship or basically wipe them out. So we're going to do the component review, and I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited because I really like the idea of the custom punch-outs, and this game has a lot of them. So if we look at the components here, we'll see that the first thing that springs to mind is there are 4 sheets of custom punch-outs here. And it includes these 12 character standees. And these standees are actually pretty slick. Let me make sure you can see that. Right? That's pretty cool in my opinion. If I can get the camera to focus on that. But they made these custom standees, X bottom, right, with the custom punch outs. But they also made these tiles, right, these custom tiles here that they're double-sided. So these wilds tell you what kind of hazard you're going to face when you draw a wild card. And they also have the shield tokens that are similar but slightly different size than the those other tiles. All this custom punch-outs. I think they're really cool. They also have the CPUs, right? And the CPU is what you use to allow you to use a particular module in the spacecraft. So you get 12 standees, 12 of these character health tiles, right? I'm doing so we can see them right side up there. 12 of the character health tiles, and they're all double-sided. So you can see that you've got, right, fear. If you get fear once, you flip over to this side. If you get another fear card again, you'll actually kill that thing, that character. But they're really slick. I've always been curious about doing the custom punch-outs myself. I just got to find a good reason to use them. I have a lot of ideas. I just haven't done it yet. So you get 12 standees, 12 tiles, you get 5 of these tokens, 4 of the shield tokens, you get 15 of these oxygen tokens, and you get 5 of these CPU tokens as well. They're really slick. I really enjoyed using them. And of course, they're all made with that nice thick chipboard that the Game Crafter uses for their punch-out components. You also get a 66 card poker-sized deck, and that contains the hazard cards. Now, the hazard cards are used by the person that's playing space, or in a cooperative game, they basically come random off the deck, and you kind of play it that way. But there are 5 basic types in here: leak, fear, surge, which is like an electrical surge through the ship, poison gases that will kill the astronauts. Then you get tricking and wild. Now, trick will basically make one of the astronauts go to a module that they didn't necessarily want to go to. They were tricked into thinking there was something they had to take care of. And the wild could be any one of those hazards, but in a different location in the ship. On the back side of these cards tells you the location that this happens in. There may be occasions when it'll happen in every part of the ship. And poison will damage the health of the astronauts, and you will move them down in the minute order. So we also have these domino cards here. Now these large domino cards, there are 8 of them in the set, and one of them is used as a character reference sheet and a hazard reference. But the other ones are used to actually build the ship. So you've got the 5 ship pieces, you've got the engine discard area, and then you've got the hazard deck area as well. And it makes a nice playboard, and really thin and light, reduces weight and shipping costs. But it's a nice way to do a fairly substantial playboard in the middle of the table. So it's got decent table presence. Bethany's art is bold and it shows up really well, and then the characters are all done slightly different. You get a dozen character portraits in this on the various standees. It's really well done. And of course, all the rules are contained in this 20-page tall booklet. If naturally the tall booklets were kind of sized to fit in the medium pro box, so this is the best choice for that. And there's enough rules here that I should say that it's not so many rules, but they put a lot of references in here, telling you what's going to happen. Like in the habitat, if you have the single CPU side happening, you can put an extra oxygen in there. Or if you've got the double CPU, if you've upgraded the CPU in there, you can place 2 oxygens. But each one of those for each phase, and there's 3 phases in each turn, which is the ambush, the defend, and the impact phase, has that reference section. And one of the things I want to call out in the rule book for this is that this was made for the game crafter. It even talks about the idea of the laser cut components, and well, you might want to wipe those off before you use them, which, as all of us game crafter lovers know, happens with the laser cut components. There's also the character reference chart on the back of the book itself, much like the card. So they took good advantage of making that tall booklet. I love the feel and the size and shape of these chits, the custom punch outs. I think they've done a really crafty job with this. The components are nice. There's a lot of board here for not a lot of thick cardboard. Each of these module sections also has a reverse side. And the reverse side with the blue border, that's for the tutorial mission. So you can actually play a tutorial. And when you're ready to play the standard game, you flip it over to the red bordered side and it's set up for the standard game. So I really enjoyed playing this. It was one of those things where it's a small game, but you open it up and there's a lot of tension. You always play for the astronauts and try to get them to survive for 13 minutes. And each card marks the minutes. You start with minute 1, then 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's been really good. Now, if you want to see the how to play portion of the video, and you want to see my opinion, my review of the game itself, check the link up here. That will be a link to those sections of the video. But I hope you enjoyed this component review of 13 minutes at the speed of light. I'm Rocky. This is the Game Crafter on Rocky Reviews. And as always, make awesome.